In just 5 years, China has gone from making that, whatever it is, to making these. Now, with that rate of progress, where are they going to be in 5 years' time?
Where they're going to be is here. This is the latest C5 from a new Chinese brand called Omoda. It starts at just $30,000 here in New Zealand, and every model in the range comes with a Starship Enterprise looking interior, leather seats and LED lights galore. Upper spec models receive a more powerful 1.6 turbo over the standard 1.5 and niceties like a sunroof, power tailgate, heated seats and steering wheel, and so much more. They've all got a 5-star safety rating and a 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty.
So you certainly get a lot for your money, but is it any good? Well, let's go for a drive and find out. And already there's a problem. Look at that grille. It looks like a beehive, and not in a good way. The front end is basically a straight copy of the new Kona, and the back end looks like it's copied from a Lexus NX. I love the wheels though, with the red accents, even if they say woo-woo when upside down. The side profile though, that's where this thing looks best. I love the white, black and red theme going on. The spoiler looks cool, and overall, I think it's a pretty neat looking car. And it's got keyless entry too. In fact, it unlocks the car before you even make it to the door handle. Getting inside is one of the coolest parts because it plays a BBC radio style introduction song. And now that we've been suitably greeted, it's time to begin the Omoda C5's 1.6 turbo. It's got 137 kilowatt and 275 Newton meters, which is way more than all of the Omoda's competition. So it's fast. How fast? Really fast. This thing will do 0 to 100 in around 7 seconds, which is faster than some hot hatchbacks. And I'm doing around 7.5 litres per 100k, which is exactly what they claim. This interior looks far more premium than the $30,000 price tag suggests. The quality of all of the materials here on the interior and on the seats is really nice, and the seats themselves are really rather comfortable. I've been able to get a pretty decent driving position, although if like me you like to sit quite low down, the steering wheel sort of is designed for drivers who want to sit kind of looking down at the steering wheel like this. It's got some very cool makeup mirrors, which my girlfriend really approved of. Backseat room is surprisingly good. I can fit in the boot without issue, and with the seats folded down, I can even sleep back there too. In fact, there's even a space saver wheel, which is a rarity in cars today. There's a couple of areas here and there that give a hint as to this car's price tag, but overall, it's really good. The sunroof is fairly small and only seems to tilt, so that's a bit pointless. But there's plenty of places to put drink bottles and coffee cups, and above all else, it's comfortable. The ride quality is very softly sprung, be it maybe a little bit bouncy. The adaptive cruise control is okay. It'll happily follow a car in front, and it'll even bring you to a complete stop. The problem with it is it slows down way too much for gentle corners on a motorway. Around this gentle corner here, perfectly comfortable doing 100 k's an hour, we're doing 90. In fact, it's slowing down to 87, and that's not because of the car in front, that's just because it's detected a corner, because as soon as you straighten out, oh, now we're accelerating again. And you have people right up behind you going, what's this guy doing? Why is he slowing down for no reason? It's like, it's not me, it's the car. And then the lane keep assist, it tends to take over all of a sudden by yanking the steering wheel out of your hands, but because it's not that accurate at following the lines, you have to kind of help it out a little bit, and as soon as you so much as deviate slightly from where it thinks it should be going, it just turns off again. Now, the infotainment. This is one of the best and the worst parts about this car, because you'll take your eyes off the road to have a look at it, and then the car will bong at you. So you look back in the gauges to see what the bong was about, and it's the driver attention monitor telling you that you've been distracted. So then you go back to looking at the screen to try finish adjusting what you were going to do, and the car bongs again to tell you that you've been distracted for a long while. The screen itself, when you're parked on the side of the road, works just fine. It's got a nice frame rate, my phone paired up easy peasy, and it's pretty easy to use. A lot of the things that you'd like to adjust quickly, like some of the active safety features, are buried in menus, but overall I'd say that it's a pretty nice looking and relatively easy to use screen. But because everything, all of the climate controls and all of the functionality of the screen is haptic touch and the buttons are quite small, you have to be reasonably accurate with your presses, which of course means you have to take your eyes off the road, which means that the driver attention monitor will go off, and so on and so on. So let's pull over and take a closer look at this screen before the car gets cross with me again. I must admit, there's a bit of a steep learning curve to this interior. Some of the controls are here on the screen, others still are way down here by the gear knob, and more are on the steering wheel. And because everything is made of shiny black plastic, already it's getting absolutely covered in fingerprints and scratches. And because there's no feedback when you press anything, you have to take your eyes off the road to check that you actually hit the button you wanted to press. But fortunately, Omoda thought of that and gave you a built-in assistant. Hey, Omoda.
Yes, I'm here.
Set the temperature to 25 degrees.
Okay, I've adjusted the temperature in all areas to 25.0 degrees.
So that actually works surprisingly well. And the good news is it's also got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which works completely wirelessly, which means you can even use Siri and Google Assistant to do all of your other normal cellular functions. It's got an amazing camera system too, which shows you all around the car. You can look at a full 3D map of your car as you're driving along. It's pretty snappy to use. It's clearly got a decent processor. The resolution of the screen is good, and it has all the features that people are looking for in a car these days. So now we come to my favorite part. Is it good to drive? Well, let's put it up into sport mode and fiddle around with this digi-stick down here to get it into manual mode, and let's see what it does. When you put it up into sport mode, the steering gets a little bit heavier and the throttle response improves slightly. It's actually a pretty fun car to drive. The 1.6 turbo is potent. It's got some really great torque. And while it's certainly no hunkered down sports car, the body control on a road like this is really not bad at all. Overtaking would be an absolute breeze in this car, and genuinely, it's a fun wee thing. I enjoy it. It is a great drive.
Well, that does take us back to our original question, actually. So, in 5 years' time, everybody will be driving Chinese cars. Yes, we probably will.
And if you buy this Chinese car, I think you'd be happy. It's got a great engine and transmission protected by a 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty. It's very quiet, comfortable and decently spacious for use on the open road, and it has every single feature that any normal person could want. My complaints are really only limited to the overuse of shiny black plastic throughout the interior and the haptic feedback buttons, which require you to take your eyes off the road to use them. But otherwise, I think if you're in the market for a car like this, for the price, it's got all the features that you could ever need and is a genuinely fantastic all-round package. So it's a thumbs up from me. Make sure to check out our website, drivelife.co.nz, for more car reviews, and we'll see you next time.